folks. Let's do some quick introductions. My name is Aaron Nelson. I'm the president of the Chamber for Greater Chapel Hill Carrboro. This will be my 25th year of leadership class. I was a student I went through it in 1999. I've been the Chamber CEO for 23 years. This program has been around for us, oh my gosh, 1985. The president of UNC Hospital said, we need a program that takes local people, leaders, folks new in their jobs, people with lots of experience, but a new opportunity, and really orient them to our community. And so we're going to talk to you about a thing that we've been at for a long time with over 450 alumni, and walk you through so you know what you're getting into. We can answer some of y'all's questions. We're going to go around the horn in just a second, but Greg, will you introduce yourself, please?
Absolutely. So, hello, everybody. Again, my name is Greg Raymond. I am the Community Advancement Management for the Chamber, and my job is in government affairs and advocacy. And I pretty much just make sure that when it comes to the critical issues that our community deals with, like workforce development, education, childcare, transportation, transit, all those things, that we have a very strong pipeline between our local businesses and our elected officials. And this year, I'm also running the leadership program. So I cannot express enough how excited I am that I get to meet everyone here, because just like this is a first for you, this is actually a first for me. So we're going to go through this together for the first time.
Perfect. How about we go Megan, then Justin? Justin Ritter. Megan, will you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Megan Darab. I'm a commissioner for the town of Hillsborough, and I'm also the executive director for Porch Hillsborough. Thanks for having this info session for us.
We Several Hillsborough electeds have been through our program. Your current mayor is a big fan. Went
Yes,
through a
definitely.
couple of years ago. Justin, and then over to Dwayne.
Sure, I'm Justin Ritter. I've worked with Vector Security for the past year. We primarily do commercial. I specifically do primarily commercial, everything from access control to security. We've done a lot of work in Chapel Hill, and we're looking forward to expand in Chapel Hill. Our office is out of Raleigh, so we cover both areas. And was checking on the calendar and more ways to stay active, and saw that you guys had this meeting this afternoon, so I'm happy to be here.
Justin, I'm glad you are here. Megan, I may come back to you with this. Justin, you as well. But going forward, folks, if you introduce yourself and then maybe a word about why this leadership program is of interest to you. So we'll go Dwayne, and then Ansel. Oh, you're saying good things, but we can't hear him. I saw you on mute, but I couldn't hear you.
Running.
Oh, that's better. That's better.
Okay. I'm Dwayne Eel. I'm the guest service manager at the Graduate Hotel that used to be the Franklin Hotel. I've been in this building since 2016.
Fabulous. We've had wonderful people go through from your hotel. Ansel, and then Keel.
Hey, everybody. Ansel Pritchard. I'm the Land Acquisition and Development Manager for Habitat for Humanity of Orange County. And I work in Chapel Hill, but I live in Raleigh. And so I think this is just a great opportunity to meet some new folks around the community, as I just started this role about 6 months ago. So looking forward to it.
Mr. Pritchard, good to see you. It says Keel. That could be a first name, a last name, could be the organization, could be whoever's computer you borrowed.
My name is Lorenza Bridges, President of Human Resources here at Piedmont Health Services. I went through this program in another town, city, and I thought it was a great opportunity to meet people that work and live in the same community that I work in, so I'm excited.
Wonderful. What town was that? What city was that?
Morganton, North Carolina.
Very cool. Well, we're glad to have you. How about Ashana Harris, followed by Elizabeth?
Good afternoon. My name is Ashana Harris. I'm the Chief Human Resources Officer for Chapel Hill Carrboro City Schools. Of course, we are greatly supported by the Chamber, and my superintendent shared this to be an amazing opportunity to learn more about the organizations and the community that support our school district. So I am more than happy to be a part. Thank you for having me.
We're very glad you're here. Brandy Reeves went through last year, y'all's chief of staff, and now I guess she also has all exceptional children's services reporting to her.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Elizabeth and then Melissa Patrick.
Hi there, I'm Elizabeth Buchanan. I am the Associate Provost at UNC Chapel Hill. So I work in the Provost office. And I'm very interested in this because I work in Chapel Hill, I live in Chapel Hill, my children are just enrolled in the schools in Chapel Hill. So I'm sort of all in on Chapel Hill and I want to, get closer to my community and learn more about how it all comes together.
Fabulous. Where were you before this?
Well, I've been here about 6 years already, so just sort of starting my life full throttle now. But before that, I lived actually in Berkeley, California for several years. And
Perfect. I was born in
New Jersey.
Oakland. My
Oh, yeah.
father went to Berkeley. Can't you tell this is the look of Oakland and the Bay Area?
I miss it in many ways, but Chapel Hill is the perfect place to raise a family.
We're glad that you are here. Melissa Patrick, then Rob English.
Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa Patrick. I am the Assistant Operations Manager for Demand Response, which is also called an Easy Rider here in Chapel Hill. The little small vehicle, blue vehicle you see riding around town, that will be us. My supervisor attended the class, I think the last session, Travis Parker. And then the director, he recommended or asked me if I was interested in taking the class. And I was like, sure, I'm always interested in meeting new people and learning something new. So I'm excited just to see how we all work together here in Chapel Hill.
It was wonderful having Travis with all his experience in our community. And I do know at Chapel Hill Transit, sometimes you get voluntold to do this leadership program. There's a person every year, but almost, I'd say 100% of the time, they end up glad they were told to enroll. But I'm glad that you're interested. Rob English, and I'm going to Natalie.
Hey everyone, Rob English, Mayor Pro Tem, Town of Hillsborough. Aaron, as you know, many of our colleagues have gone through this program and talked very highly of it. And so I felt it was a good opportunity for me to learn more about Chapel Hill and Carborough and the surrounding areas and all the organizations that make everything great.
You want to tell folks what your day job is?
Sure. So I do work for the town of Chapel Hill. Been working for Chapel Hill Parks and Recreation for the last 26 years. I'm currently in the business management side of that at the administrative office at Plant Road.
I love you. Work for Chapel Hill, but are an elected official in Hillsborough. And Megan, Rob, if one more person shows up, we have to have a public meeting, right? I have to publicly
No more coming.
Natalie, and then iPhone 512.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Natalie. I am a training specialist with Central HR at UNC Chapel Hill. So I facilitate our new employee orientation every Monday. So any new person who starts at UNC Chapel Hill gets to see my face. But I also facilitate other leadership trainings, strength finders, things like that. And I am originally from the Triangle, but lived up in Western North Carolina for about a decade before relocating back to the Triangle, originally from Raleigh. And I did complete a similar program in Henderson County called Henderson County Vision, and absolutely loved the program, had a really great time, loved feeling connected to my community in that way. And the last time that I was in the Triangle, I, was growing up and living here, but not really connected to the larger entities that are making everything work and run. And so I'm excited to be back in the Triangle with that kind of perspective from Henderson County, but would love to, plug into this program in that way. And especially being someone who's welcoming every person to such a big aspect of who Chapel Hill is. I would love to, take any piece of information that we can use to pass along to the people who are coming to UNC.
Now, Lorenza and Ashana, this is going to be like an HR convention, it seems. But I think it's only UNC that no matter what day you start work, you get oriented on the same day. Actually, no, you can't start work any day but Monday, right? Monday is the only day you can start
People
work.
can, I think, can start work on other days, but they do have to attend orientation. So, yeah.
And who is our iPhone holder before we go to Kay Edwards?
Hello, I'm iPhone holder. I'm I'm Nicole Enzor. Sorry it came up that way on my phone. I'm the general manager of Hawkers in Chapel Hill. We're located on University Place. I was just interested in seeing what this program was about. I'm pretty new to North Carolina and this area. So I've only been here about like 4 months, and I think it would be really important to, get out into the community and to also see how like Hawkers, our company, can also support the community. So looking forward to seeing what it's all about.
We're glad to have you. If y'all have not been, the curry laksa soup is the ramen is just like just magic. And we got two to go. Kay Edwards, and then Sarah Brinsfield.
Hi, I'm Kate Edwards. I work at PHE as a recruiter. We used to be, I think, one of the largest employers in Orange County. I'm working here in Hillsborough. Not largest, maybe largest employer in Hillsborough. That was prior to my time, so I'm not sure. But I'm just looking to meet new people, and my boss told me to sign up for this. So I'm kind of relaying all the information I get to my coworkers.
Fabulous. And tell me the organization again.
PHE?
Yes. PHE. Some of you all may know them as Adam and Eve. PHE, Phil Harvey Enterprises. Although Phil died recently, I was very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, a couple years ago. And
I think you all have 400 employees, 500 employees in Hillsborough.
Yeah, so it fluctuates based on, we hire seasonal staff. Of course, we love to keep as many of our seasonals as we can, but it fluctuates. During COVID, I think we had close to 400. Now we're at a rate steady about 250, I think.
Yes, COVID was good for your industry. The staycation was really good. What our friends at PHE are up to. If she joins our program, y'all can find out what the season is when they have good sales at the warehouse. Sarah, will you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Sarah Brinsfield, and I'm with the Chapel Hill Carrboro Public School Foundation. And I've had this program recommended to me by multiple people who've gone through it over the years. So I'm just excited to learn more about it today.
Fabulous. All right. I have a PowerPoint presentation. So let me pull that up and share some stuff with you all about the program. I'm totally cool with you blurting out. Greg, I'll count on you seeing if people put their hands up. You can use a little doodad, but you also can just wave wildly. It could be that Greg can see you if he's got it set up right. Oh, looks like we already did. This is our agenda. This is what we're going to do. All right. So well done, y'all. Mission accomplished on the first. Throughout our presentation, just sharing you some photos. This is the kickoff just before we did a tour of campus. This is Brittany. She was the planning director at the time still is for the town of Chapel Hill. And this is the sort of show you that sometimes it's new people. She was there, but this is Caroline Rigsby. Caroline Rigsby's parents owned Andrew Rigsby Hardware. She is a multi-generational Chapel Hillian and still found this a great experience. Friends from Durham Tech, a police officer. There's Travis with Chapel Hill Transit, the head of nursing over at UNC Hospitals in Hillsborough, to give you a sense of who's in the class. And this is just before we started our long walk through campus. So there's really our promise to you, so think of this as a customer promise, is to inform, develop, connect, and engage. And we'll be focusing on that greater Chapel Hill Carrboro. There's sort of a drive radius that we know spills into northern Chatham and southwest Durham. Hillsborough is very much a part of this community and region. The why for us is really to help you. We want to help broaden your understanding of issues. One of our philosophies is once you know, you cannot unknow. Right? When we learn about the achievement gap in our school system, when we learn about the affordable housing challenges, when we learn about the tremendous economic impact of a healthcare system. Those are things that are going to stay with us. We want to arm you with good information. We know that it is an unusual time out there, and truth telling and good information sharing is going to be really important to us. So we want to give you good understanding of the issues, some leadership skills, durable, lasting relationships with each other, and we really want to help improve your influence, connect you with people in order to help you be successful. We're going to do it in a cohort system. There'll be 25 of you, 20, 25. We can get up to 30 folks, and we're going to do some people really like the lecture and some people really like the experiential, and we're going to disappoint you both, but hopefully at a rate you can tolerate. So there'll be some experiential and some where you're in a classroom and there's a speaker at the front. It'll be a mix of doing and seeing and experiencing and touching. This is our leadership graduation 2022. That's Allie. She was the president of the class, and then the mayor of Chapel Hill and the mayor of Carrboro join us for leadership graduation. So we're going to do this a little differently than those. If you've been advised by a friend or colleague, this year's class is going to be a little different. Instead of every other week, all day, once a day, every other week, we're going to go monthly. It's usually, well, you've seen the list, and I'll show it to you again, but it's going to be monthly. We sort of heard a little that missing a full day of work every 10 days could get you fired. So we want to make sure that we space this out a little bit. And we're going to travel around. We'll have some sessions in Hillsborough. We're going to have some sessions in Chapel Hill and Carrboro. We're going to do some walking, a little bit of driving and a bus tour. And then I think you've seen online what some of the courses that we're going to focus on. History and governance. So not only to talk about the graduate hotel used to be the Franklin Hotel, but to talk about that it used to be the Greyhound bus station. And it used to be the segregated Greyhound bus station. And the history of our community, what shapes us, who we are today. And we're just going to candidly engage in all of that. Economy, education, workforce, university, public safety. You've read about these things. So again, as I showed, a little bit of going around and seeing some things as well as some stuff in classroom. That's us at Durham Tech in that lower left-hand corner. And their campus in Hillsborough. So June 5th is kickoff. We're going to bring a leadership alumni and y'all, and we're going to give you something to drink and something to eat and some meet and greet and give a general orientation, talk about what's coming, give you all a chance to meet your classmates 2 weeks later. Actually, just 1 week later, we're going to do a ropes course where you can go up high or you can stay down low. It'll be up to you, but a day in the woods. We'll do history and governance, about how government works, the counties versus the cities versus the state. We'll meet with elected officials, arts and tourism, human services, affordable housing. You can read through university, economic and community development, public education, workforce, public safety, justice, and then graduate all the way off in February. And Greg, it's usually, does it say it's not, it's always a Thursday. Yes. For holidays and some other purposes. And we've got these pretty much nailed down. We may slide that graduation a little closer to your last day of class. You don't need to wait a whole month before you throw your cap and gown into the air. Well, just the cap.
Are subject to change.
Yeah, but we're going to try not to stick to it. All right. So informed is one of our core competencies. The goal is to broaden your understanding of the issues. And we'll take some deep dives. We're going to meet with our university leaders, a panel of elected officials, for example, and talking to them about why they ran and what the challenges are. We ask everybody to be real candid and honest with you. We ask them for permission for you to push back and to pick at something or to go down the rabbit hole with them. We really want you to have unique access. We're going to have a bus tour. We'll drive around and see some different things in our community early on, but we're also going to get some experiences. We're going to tour the men's shelter. We're talking to the sheriff about a trip to the jail. We'll walk the river walk. We will sit in the courthouse. We're going to learn how they treat water at Owassa. And then I'll get a little later on about we call it a passport. You will have a couple activities you'll need to do outside of class in order to graduate, and one of them will be have a police ride along. I encourage you to do Friday. It's more fun. If that scares the hell out of you, I encourage you to do Sunday morning. But you can choose Orange County Sheriff, Chapel Hill, or I guess Campus Police, Carborough. You'll also have to ride public transit in order to graduate. We did have a woman, she was so nervous about it. She had her husband follow the bus. She got on the bus, but she didn't know it was going to take her. So the husband drove around behind her for a half an hour until she got off. We'll do a better job of telling you where the bus is going to go. So this is our folks just about to get on a bus tour. Us at Durham Tech. Jump to develop, refining your leadership skills. We spent some time on this. This is not the core function, but we're going to have some fun with some business etiquette, some communication skills, both from the leaders that you're going to meet and also some trainers that you will interact with. And then one big long day with our friends out at, it's called Triangle Training Center. It's in Northern Chatham. We've worked with them for now 25 years. They have done this leadership class with us. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. But you'll have the chance to go up if you want to have that experience. And also there's some on the ground stuff. If this discourages you, don't let it. It's really not that difficult, and you do your best. These are just some photos to show you. We're having lunch at the men's at this at IFC's what used to be the soup kitchen where you could eat downtown. This is our tour of the Okanichi Village in Hillsborough. Just some examples of something. Getting you connected, sort of touched on this already. Meaningful, lasting relationships, both with your class, and our classes still convene years afterwards, but also with leaders that you will have a chance to interact with. This is the Ackland Art Museum, and sort of a team building experience that we had working together in the art museum. They got to run out of the tunnel onto Keenan's, isn't that fun? So we'll see if we can, some of these will be new for you. I'm sorry, new for the class that we've never done them before, and some of them are favorites that we'll do our best to repeat. Finally, the fourth promise to you is that we're going to get you engaged, that deepening your influence, growing your network. I want to do that in some different ways. You have an activity called Small Miracles. Your class will select a local nonprofit. You'll select a way to raise some money for them, and you'll do what we call a small miracle. The minimum is you got to raise $500, and you got to raise $1,000 for a scholarship to send someone through next year. But one class raised $15,000. We've had Barbie-themed drag bingo fundraisers. We've had kickball tournament fundraisers. We have had one class was like, look, if we all just write $50 check, we can be done fundraisers. And it'll be up to your class. You will select a nonprofit through a process that we will teach you using Robert's Rules of Order and behaving like a board of directors. And do this Small Miracle program that we've been at for 25 years. And then the Community Passport. You can't graduate until you've done a few things. You must do a police ride along. You must ride public transit. You must go to a public meeting. But then you'll have some choices. It could be donate blood, get a library card, make a meal out of things you bought exclusively at the farmer's market. So they'll have some optional mandatories. You'll have to do one or two of them, but you'll have several to choose from. That makes sense. People at town hall, people doing their ride along. This is our pitch party for the nonprofit. He's pitching his nonprofit and see if he can convince the rest of the group to go along with him. Let me just pause here. I'm going to stop before we get to some.
Aaron, hold on.
All right, sorry.
There you go.
You have questions? I'm gonna got just like 2 or 3 more slides, but wanted to just pause here for. Yeah, there's a general impassive look on your faces. I am trying to, there's sort of a, so, okay. Yes, Rob English.
And how many people do you generally have in a group or a cohort? Or...
We've been as small as 16, 14, 16. We've been as big as 26, 27, 28. I think we will cap it as we get those high 20s. Because I think the experience is better, it's smaller, and candidly, bus size, classroom size, other things just make it a little unwieldy. I'd love if there were 22, 24 of you all. What other questions? Leaning in? Okay, then let me go back to.
Aaron, what about food and transportation? How does that
What
work?
about food and transportation? What a great question. So we feed you. So you're going to come see us in the morning. We will provide some food. You will give us feedback that that was not what you want to eat in the morning. It's not like we're not doing bacon and eggs, y'all, but it is, I'm a cheese stick fan. I think there's nothing better than an adult with a cheese stick. It's just, and a Capri Sun. Anyway, so there will be yogurts and cheese and granola and those sorts of things and juice. And then we're going to feed you a nice lunch every time. Usually a local restaurant will cater that. And then once you're with us, generally we're transporting you around. All of that's included in the price of admission.
Thanks.
Back to. All right. So in order to graduate, attend all sessions. We know your life happens to you, and 10 months is a long time. So there will be excused absence. We'd like to know in advance, but we don't expect you to reschedule your family vacation. So we will miss you and check back in with you when we see you again. The community passport talked about, and then the small miracles. Team-based approach. Once you select, everybody works together to deliver the project before the class is over. And they've raised the money for y'all remarkable things. We bought lockers for the men at the men's shelter because people steal their stuff during the day. We've got super ultra cold freezers for Ronald McDonald House for storing pumped mother's milk. Or we translated Rape Crisis Center's training videos into Spanish. Or built ramps for habitat houses so that the person could get discharged from the hospital. And you can't get discharged if you can't get into your own house. So that person needed a ramp. So those are the kinds of things that the class can work on. All right, nitty gritty. There's a fee. We're pleased to keep it the same as last year and a whole lot less than if you've ever been to the Raleigh one. As member and non-member, I think everybody here is a member. We also have scholarships. Y'all don't let that stop you. Let us know and we can work on some things. And some of you work for employers that are major investors in the chamber. And those come with some discounts. You'll see that next. So we can talk to you if you're uncertain if your employer, through their membership dues, they have purchased a discount. So UNC Hospitals school system gets a heavy discount. We can talk to you guys about that. There are scholarships. The application form you should have seen on the website. Let us know. And then registration, we've got an early bird discount that goes through April 23rd. It's $100 off, Greg.
Yes, sir.
We've got a final registration. We'd love to know if you're joining us by May 23rd. Some people need to pay it monthly. Some people need to pay it by credit card. Let us know. We'll work that out with you. We will want to gather some stuff about you. It needs a short bio. Don't get hung up on it. We'll get it from you later. But we do need to know if you're allergic to cheese sticks or green tea is required in order to get your day going. We want to know how best to serve you. So there's stuff on the website. Greg, Mackenzie, and I will be your Right now, those two are the better two to talk to about getting registered. I'm happy to talk to you about anything, life, business, politics. And I'll be with you throughout the program. It's one of my favorite things that the chamber does. So be with you most sessions, and happy to talk to you about the leadership program as well. All right. So what other things sort of come to your mind now that you've seen that?
We're a very shy group.
Yes, you get car sick, you're nervous about the bus ride. Don't worry, we've got that covered.
What about attire? Generally speaking, is it business casual?
We're business casual. Your ropes course, you should wear the sorts of things that, it's athletic wear. But the rest of it is business casual. I'd sort of say wear what you generally wear to work. We are interacting with, business and community leaders, but our officers would sometimes be in uniforms and sometimes be casual. Dwayne, your graduate branded, whatever you got, looks great. Anything else on your...
Did we go over sponsorship?
Oh, should you be so excited that you want to help lower the cost for others, there are opportunities for sponsorship. You could sponsor the bus tour. It could be lunch presented by the Graduate Hotel, for example, may host our kickoff party. It'll be underwritten and sponsored by them. So if you are looking for branding opportunities or to really jump in both feet, we're happy to share more about that with you guys also. The reason I showed you all the photos, it is a mix of people. We've been between 21 and 70 years old. We have been tiny people and not tiny people. Right from Chapel Hill Transit, I don't think he'd mind me saying Travis was a little nervous about climbing up that tree and the harness system that was going to drop him off the top of it. And he looked fabulous. I'll share your photos, Melissa, if you want, of him coming down out of the sky. But this program works for able-bodied, and we've also had wheelchair-bound folks that we can help make this work well for. Been here a long time or relatively new.
I just want to add, if I may, this really is an amazing experience, and we don't want the price to stop anyone from participating. So like Aaron was saying, we do have scholarship opportunities. I encourage everyone to get in touch with me. If you have any questions about pricing, we will definitely work with you because we don't want that to stop you from being part of this year's cohort. So please reach out.
I don't, Megan, yes, please.
Yeah, sorry, I had a moment there to get my voice unmuted. I'm looking at the chamber website, and there it looks like you've got all the dates of sessions in a calendar. Is that shareable so that we can populate our calendars?
Oh yeah, once you're in, we got a couple technology things we're engaged with you in. We're going to create Group Me. So if you have any kids that play sports or Dance Dad, we'll have a way that you all can talk to each other that isn't through, the world outside. And then we have another tool which will have all the sessions and all the speakers and all their bios and all their where you're supposed to be and all of that in it used to be a notebook, and now it is in an app for you. And we will send you calendar invites to place all that stuff on a calendar. That way also, 1 year, there's a road closure and we can then, we had to relocate one of the places that we went. We can just change it in the calendar and you guys will see it. So we will help manage your calendar if you'll let us.
Thank you.
Sure. I know, right? Because if my calendar doesn't tell me to do it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Or where to go.
Yeah, that's right. Where am I supposed to be right now?
I have a question.
Yes.
What does engagement look like for alumni of the program?
We have not done as well as we would like. We have had a on and off. COVID sent us a little bit back, but usually you will elect a sort of a class president, a class agent, a facilitator to keep you, their job is to keep you guys together over time. So we don't get our alumni together that often that we will invite our alumni back to join you for kickoff. You may meet and see them at different sessions. Sometimes they come back to make an introduction, and then you all will stay together as a class with somebody who you trust to carry that forward. And some of our groups get together twice a year for lunch. We'd like to get you guys more involved. And Natalie, I love that you asked it. I'm hoping means you have some ideas about it, and so we'll follow up.
I participated in the Vision program in Henderson County, but do no longer live in Henderson County, and my group is pretty engaged. And so it's been sad that I'm missing out on some wonderful gatherings. So that's what kind of drove my question.
We are hopeful that just can't. It sometimes depends on the class. Some of y'all have had enough of
fair.
each other at the end, and some of you are very excited to carry it forward. So we'll see. Anything else before we let you get back to what you're up to?
I can say that I've heard about the chamber and what it does, kind of in the circumspection of what's around my ears, but have never had the deep dive into exactly what it does. So I am looking forward to the learning and the cohesion between the people of different dynamics that represent not just Chapel Hill, but every dynamic that makes up Chapel Hill.
Well said.
Nice. Well said.
I think
Well
we
said.
just had Trevor join too. We can always get with him later to kind of fill him in. Trevor Holman.
Trevor, we're sorry. The group was faster. We believe this is Trevor Holman,
It is,
brilliant
yes.
local photographer. And Trevor will get you the slide deck and share more information with you shortly.
Yep.
Any final parting words? Something you
I think
want to share
everyone's
with the group?
sentiment is we will see you in June. I think that is is the overall message that everyone on this call has. We will definitely see you in June.
Greg will be following up with y'all. The best way to get him to stop sending you an email is to just register, and then they stop.
That is true. That is very true.
Thanks, y'all, for your interest. We're really excited about it. We're putting together a good program. We want you to have high expectations of us. We want to earn your, we want to earn it. We're going to work really hard to deliver you a good program that delivers on those promises that we made. Look forward to seeing you all soon.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Greg.
Have a
Look
great
forward
rest of
to
your
it.
day.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, Trevor. We'll talk soon, and I'll make sure I get you the slides.
Sounds good. Thanks.